The mood seems quieter at the table now. The chat has died down a little, and that's because a couple of these players really down to the felt.
Definitely a somber mood on the table.
Praz Bansi, very low on chips. They've passed round to him, but no. Marcel Lusk with an unpleasant-looking hand.
But it's suited.
It's suited.
Oh, and he painfully folds. He can't stand to fold a button.
Oh, it's like waving goodbye to a loved one at the airport for Marcel to put these cards down. And Pascal Perot is all in.
Which is the right play. King 8 off. He's got to pick a point to gamble. But he might get a call here because Dimitri's got an ace.
Of course, Dimitri herself doesn't have a lot of chips, but
this is going to endanger half of her stack.
I think she must call.
Absolutely, absolutely.
This is a situation where Perot can do it with a big range of hands. It's the correct call.
She's endangered a third of her stack. But that's still, this is a big pot for these two players.
She's only 4-6 favourite, and really, it's kind of a race.
Call quicker, please.
I'm not wishing you good luck.
Because you can see you thinking.
Let's see the
short stack.
Oh, and that's not the card that Perot wanted to see. It's going to make it very hard for him to win this hand.
Well, he came back from a long way behind a little while ago.
Well,
but no, he's drawing dead.
That's a decision.
The former late night poker finalist Pascal Perot is not going to make the final list series. He's the first one out. He never recovered after losing that early key hand to Rillick.
Yeah, I won.
Maria, call quicker, please.
I've put Anushka with an ace because she re-raised again. So I thought she had a huge hand, but I tried to bluff her, and she almost passed. And I think she was almost sure that I had a flush, but she was involved in the hand, and now she don't have so much to put to or call my bluff or try to get a full house. I think she think, okay, I'm going to try to get a full house with my two pairs. I think that last card she thought she has lost. She didn't know she was winning.
That leaves 6 players at the table and Praz Bansi in the firing line. Marcel Lusk comfortably at the top.
Interesting thing, too. It actually really puts Bansi in a worse spot, too, because now he gets one less hand each round. Only 6 players left.
It took nearly 4 levels to lose.
The winner of this match will get the last seat in the final of Late Night Poker.
How much everyone wants it.
Everybody else is going to go home with nothing. Actually, that's not true. The person who comes second in this match does get their $5,000 back.
Consolation prize, exactly. And a nice trip to Cardiff.
Praz Bansi has moved all in. Does he have the hand to do it with? It's not so bad.
Oh my gosh, and Marcel Lusk wakes up with 2 queens.
Praz Bansi picked his moment and now is drawing to a king to stay at this table.
2-to-1 dog. He's going to need some help. His tournament life is on the line. And a king right off the bat. Look at this. Now he's in the driver's seat.
Let's see the turn card.
Poker's old guard and new breed go heads up.
Call for a deuce now.
This opened the door.
Only the case queen now could knock out
Doing requests is off.
Praz Bansi.
How the case queen comes rolling off the deck, and no more Bansi at this table. Unbelievable.
One of the greatest young players to emerge in recent years, Praz Bansi, hammered over the head by one of the old late night poker favourites. And he's walking.
I just felt that it was just one of those days where things just didn't go right for me. You know, I picked up ace queen a few times and I missed the flop. I made a bit of an iffy call against Marcel when he rivered the flush. I just seen him do that a few times when I was watching him in the heat, but this time he just happened to have it. And then I lost with ace king against ace jack, just pretty standard stuff. It just wasn't my day, you know.
5 players remaining in this heat of party poker, late night poker. Rillick is not going to climb into the ring with those cards.
And right now they're having to wrestle with Marcel Lusk sitting on top of a mountain of chips.
Trumper flat calling with the 2 7s. Nice flop for 2 7s.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Mark Goodwin flop top pair, and Marcel Lusk with just overcards.
But I really think that Trumper and Goodwin are going to get involved here because...
1,500.
Absolutely.
You know, top pair for Goodwin, but the straight draw for Trumper. And, of course, he may believe that he's still good over a flush draw or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I can easily see Trumper losing some chips right here. Of course, assuming that he doesn't catch a 5 or a 7. He's not drawing dead.
Yeah, this is just the kind of pot that can get expensive in poker matches, you know. Pairs, draws, they go up against each other. It's often, you know, the aces and the ace-kings, they often don't get that much action, but this kind of pot...
You're right.
Can be really
These
key.
are the key hands that decide a tournament many times. Absolutely right.
Trumper is just trying to work out whether he's winning at the moment.
And he flat calls. Wow.
There's the 5!
Wow.
A straight for Simon
Great
Trumper.
Call.
They both checked it.
Quick check. I like a little value bet. Oh, he checked.
But Mark Goodwin has obligingly fired in a bet.
Because he has a straight as well. He's got the 6 high straight. Oh, Mark Goodwin hates the fact that he just made this straight on the river, and now Trumper has the higher straight. I don't know that he can lay this down.
Well, that is a phenomenal flat call from Goodwin on the end there. I mean, he's bet, Trumper's raised. A lot of people would shovel in the re-raise with the straight, but no. Very disciplined flat call from Goodwin prevents himself from getting knocked out.
And that has put Mark Goodwin on life support, down to 1,000 chips.
Sorry, man.
Someone needs to get lucky to win, otherwise we'll be here forever.
Very trying times for Mark Goodwin. He's got the button and he is in possession of only 2 big blinds. If he moves all in, he is guaranteed a call. So he's got to find a hand.
Basically, he's got 4 hands to look at. He's got to play one of these next 4 hands.
Pass.
Trumper going to try and bluff it? Or does he actually have a hand at this point?
Raise 1,100.
No.
Raise all in.
Wow.
Look at that.
Beautiful situation for Goodwin. Trumper's bluffed it, but he's miscalculated what Goodwin's liable to do with his stack, and of course, Lusk feels priced in as well.
Check.
And the all-in player caught a
Bet
piece of this
1,000.
flop, and so did Trumper.
Call.
Mark Goodwin would be amazed to know that before the flop, he actually had the best hand of all 3 of them.
Yeah, you'd be a little surprised for sure.
And he still does, so Mark Goodwin is going to treble up.
And now Marcel Lusk considering a bluff here on the river when that ace hit.
But is it kind of pointless to bluff with a
Bet
man all in?
2,000.
You know, there's a big enough side pot. I think I would definitely try to go ahead and steal that side pot.
Mark Goodwin just can't imagine at this point that he's in front, but he is.
Yeah, he's got to be thinking, well, what am I going to do now that I'm out? I wonder what I'm going to go to the bar, have a few drinks. What am I going to do? We got good news for you, Goodwin. Good news. You're going to win this pot.
And meanwhile, Simon Trumper, who can beat Marcel with a pair of 9s, could call to win a juicy side pot.
And Trumper's got a really tough decision here. I mean, this is not an easy call.
That looks like he isn't going to make it.
Must have a hand with an all-in play.
Ah, he's assuming that he has a hand because of the all-in player. And now Marcel's going to show a bluff, a complete bluff. But he's going to win a big side pot.
Well, look at the incredulity on Mark Goodwin's face. After that amount of betting, he was mentally packing his bags,
Anyway, thank you.
Absolutely.
only to find that he's trebled up.
You won. You won?
Ah,
Does he not understand that he won?
he doesn't realize he's won.
Give me 100, please.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Have a seat. Stay a while, Mark. Come on.
If you do get down to the later stages, you're going to need good chips, because I fancy the chips are going to be flying fast and furious in this sort of heat where everyone sees it as sort of second chance saloon, but they're already out the tournament, so they don't mind chancing their arm a bit more in a semi. So it'll be tough.